with the theme of getting to know each other in mind, and as we've mentioned, we like to think of our podcast as a little movie club. And being a guest on our show means you are now officially a member of that club. So congratulations.
Oh, I made it.
You did it. And as you may or may not know, we do this with all of our guests. We have some questions we like to ask in order to get to know you a little bit better, understand your tastes in movies and kind of where you're coming from during this discussion. So with that in mind, I think we'll just jump right in, and I'll start with mine. I always like to ask people their favorite experiences watching movies, whether it's just a fun experience at a theater, a premiere, just a funny moment, or a moment with friends or family, just anything like that. Like, for instance, one of my favorite moments is watching Lord of the Rings in the theaters for the first time, and just like, the vibe and excitement in the theater on opening day. So we know movie theaters are opening up again, and we can actually get in and start being humans again. So let's hear about some of the more human moments from your movie life.
My movie life. I guess I worked in a movie theater.
Okay.
So that was pretty painful.
What did you do there?
Concessions. I don't know, ticket taking. I don't think that anyone is like really like an expert at anything that they do in a movie theater. It's pretty shared labor that we all have together. Mm-hmm. I would say that the worst thing that happened to me, even though they were like, you got to get these special non-slip shoes, didn't matter, because any shoe really could. It didn't matter. Like, I didn't know why I had to spend $50 on these non-slip shoes. I wasn't becoming a cook, but
that butter does not care what shoes you're wearing. That butter,
absolutely,
is a nightmare.
Everybody's trying to think of like what movies were around when I was working at Cinemagic, and we were called Cinemagicians.
Ooh, nice. That's beautiful.
This was my first job in New Hampshire. At some point I took a real dive, just because we were trying to clean out, because every night you're supposed to clean out that butter.
It's the worst.
Recipe for a lawsuit that I could have had on Cinemagic, I think. That was a rough job, because then you're like, is this glamorous? Is this fun? I get to see movies. I think Pride and Prejudice with Keira Knightley was in theaters when I was. But ultimately, you're like, I still have to clean the toilet. So you're like, for whatever reason, you think like, you're like, it's going to be great. I'm going to be like in a Kevin Smith movie, like if I'm doing this.
No, you just end up dealing with assholes like me. Ben worked at the movie theater that I used to sneak into in high school. So I don't know if he worked there when I did, but
our paths crossed early, I think.
Just deal with people like me. That's all you got to do.
But I mean, like, Ben, didn't you feel like friends were like, oh, that's cool, you work at the movie theater?
Yeah, like it felt like glamorous, and I felt lucky because I was specifically just the box office. So I was just in the front selling tickets.
Wow, how cushy for you.
We never crossed paths.
We never crossed paths, but my girlfriend at the time who I was dating got stuck in concessions, so inevitably I would have to help clean up anyway. It's just like that butter, it just like haunts me. Like, I still get it now. It's enough time has passed, but at the time, this is horrible.
I feel like every person that's worked in a movie theater is always the person that's like, you can stop in the middle and you can butter it, and then you can fill it up and then butter it.
Like giving you tips on
and
it.
And you like know that you're like, maybe you worked at a movie theater. I worked at a Blockbuster, way more cushy.
Yeah. I worked at Hollywood Video, so we were the not cool version of Blockbuster. But
no, you were the one that had pornography, so that would probably make you the cooler version.
I never had Hollywood Video, and everyone else did. I always felt like it was like all my friends had Sega and I had Nintendo, and I was always jealous because it felt like those were the cool versions of what I had.
My memories of like going to the movies when I worked there, it sounds horrible, and it was horrible, but I saw in theaters 8 times. I watched The Green Mile, and I think that movie's like 3 hours. I think I spent an entire day of my life watching The Green Mile. I don't know why.
Man,
it's like, that was free. I can get in. I remember seeing like that Schwarzenegger
You're
movie,
like, this
End
is
of Days.
uplifting.
Yeah, this is fine. It's like, it's coffee like the drink, but spelled different. It's the only thing I remember from the movie. That's our 24 hours of seeing it. But yeah, for some reason, that's what I chose to do with my free access to movies. Go see that Tom Hanks one again.
We all have choices in life.
Yeah.
You've made yours.
My question I like to ask is, if you are, on a desert island here, you've got a TV and some way to watch the whole filmography of somebody. I'm curious who you would choose, if any actor, any director, who would you take with you, their entire filmography, and why would you take them?
Okay, so I could take an actor or a director?
Yeah, you can take the filmography from any actor, any director. If they're still alive now, you'll get sent the stuff that they're going to make in the future. We're going to send that to you, but we're not going to send any help. We're just going to send you new movies to watch. But any one person, you get everything they've ever done.
What would I do? I guess I would do, I don't know if I'm going like actor route. I might just like always say Bette Davis. Like I could live off all of those movies.
Okay,
I like that.
We know you. We've seen you like this before. Is it over or is it just beginning? Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy night.
If I'm going director route, I maybe like Steve Martin.
Oh wow, okay.
Something feel good if I'm on an island alone, you know. Yeah, like I'm like, who else? And then like I could go like real like slice the lifey depressing and be like, oh, I just want to be alone with a Noah Baumbach movie.
Mm-hmm. That'd be good too. Yeah, I mean,
it gets Marriage Story in there.
Yeah, you could take Adam Driver with you, Firewood Stories, whatever. So we're very
Squid and the
pro
Whale,
Adam
man.
Driver here. Yeah, Squid and the Whale's great.
All that work I did at the end of our marriage, making dinners, cleaning up, being more attentive, it never was going to make a difference.
You never made a dinner.
I made burgers the time you had pneumonia.
Yeah, we're very pro Baumbach. So yeah, all those choices would be awesome. Very different experiences without a doubt, but all of them super solid. I like that.
I always love that question. You did well. Good job. We're proud of you.
So you've seen movies. Great.
Good job. It's a good thing we brought you on. Now it's always a fun one because I think we get a different answer every time. Like no matter what, everyone has a different answer, which makes a lot of sense. But you start to think like there's only so many answers you could possibly give, but people keep finding new ones. Yeah. So I'm into it. Well, I'm going to go ahead and take Matt's place, which is he has literally large shoes to fill, especially in comparison to mine. But he always likes to ask, what would be your unsung gem? What's a movie that you love that you don't think gets enough recognition?
Peggy Sue Got Married.
Okay. That's a perfect answer. I've never even heard of it.
Oh, whoa. I didn't mean to be so underground.
No, it's perfect.
So it's Kathleen Turner.
Oh, wow.
Also that really cute woman that was in Jodie Foster's Freaky Friday that played the mom. That kind of looks like an Annabelle Lee doll. Let's see.
Joan Allen.
Jim Carrey's in it too. Nick Cage.
Wow.
Wow.
I think he might have got a nomination for it. Yeah, it's really enjoyable. It's a movie where Kathleen Turner is reevaluating her life, and she is invited to go to her 20-year reunion, and she thinks it would be fun if she wore her prom dress from like the 50s or the 60s.
Interesting choice.
Okay.
And everybody's like, oh, Peggy Sue, you're so that way. You're so crazy that way that you would do this. And then she like hits herself. I don't know. Something happens where she goes unconscious and then she travels back in time to like the late 50s or early 60s and it's a very Our Town. Like if you know that play, but it's a very, she's still her age, but she is herself as like a 17-year-old who is able to go back in time and kind of decide if she's going to make the choice in her life to marry her husband, that is Nick Cage.
Nice.
And it doesn't work out well between her and Nick Cage, which we know in the beginning of the movie. But it's about her like re-examining her life again through the eyes of already being like a mother to her children and a wife to Nick Cage, and like seeing like, should I do this? Like, should I do this again? It's very enjoyable. It's kind of, it's like I don't know. It's witty and fun and sentimental.
Yeah,
it's a good one. It's a good one. It's worth watching.
Yeah. Francis Ford Coppola.
I was gonna say, I mean, I didn't realize he directed that, but it makes sense now why Nick Cage and Sofia Coppola show up in there.
Yeah.
Like, let's get the Coppola trifecta going. That's great.
And I need more early Jim Carrey in my life.
Yeah.
So I got to see what that looks like.
That's awesome.
Interesting. Well, once again, so
you're like, great one, Anna. We never saw it.
No,
cool.
I think it's great.
No, that's exactly why we asked that question. And like, I need to find a new question. I like yours and Matt's so much better than mine.
I love your
shit on your questions.
No, I can shit on
questions.
myself.